Hello everyone, I am Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and we are gathering today to first do a Welcome Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and I'm not going to single out anyone. We'll do all the singling out inside the Facebook group, Abundant Life Tarot group. But I just wanted to welcome all the newcomers, especially to those who have joined the Facebook group, who have liked my Facebook page for Abundant Life Tarot, my Instagram folks, my YouTube subscribers. Love you all so much. So thank you all, new and old, of course. So you probably are like, oh my goodness, this is the most we have seen you. Like, where have you been? And then, like, what? Yeah, sorry guys. I'm sorry I'm bombing you all with a bunch of videos. I promise it'll get quiet and probably like in a week or two, I'm going to be putting out videos I have already recorded like over in the past. So you don't have to worry. I haven't been recording. There was only one video that I really recently recorded, and that was the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. So anyway, so yeah, I wanted to say welcome to all my new peeps, and I'll be posting this as a replay in the Facebook group, Abundant Life Tarot group, and there is where I'll be doing like a specific weekly welcome. All right, the other reason that I wanted to do a live, and it's just easier for me sometimes to just do a live versus doing a video, because I don't have to edit. I could just hit submit, and then Facebook does its thing, and then I can send it off to YouTube, etc. So it's cool and a little bit easier for me. And I wanted to discuss the Herbcrafter's Tarot, and it's been long overdue. I have been putting it off, and I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to do a live, because everybody knows who creates content. Live creation is easiest, even if you have no one looking. It's still easier. I don't have to think much about it. So so you'll have me for about an hour today as I just go through the fire suit of the Herbcrafter's Tarot. Now, this is all a part of our tarot group. We have a tarot study group with the Herbcrafter's Tarot, and we have gone through the majors, and now we are in the minors, and the first court, or the first, not court, the first suit is fire, also known as the Wands. So let's settle in, because what I'm hoping is that once we've gone through all of these suits, then we can start doing some little exercises, or just working with that deck and posting and sharing our experiences within the Facebook group. Or if you're not comfortable, there's other ways you can share with me and interact with your Herbcrafter's Tarot without joining Facebook. I know that there's a lot of people out there who is like, I'm over, social media, and I get it. I just have to take little breaks and things. It's not like I have to go away forever. I just need to take breaks. That's all. It just gets a bit much, So I was like, oh, but I love tarot, and it's definitely been a big part of my experience over the last month or two, and you guys should know that. You should know that I am okay, and that I am still using cards, and apparently still procuring them too. So if you're just joining me, welcome, welcome. This is Welcome Wednesdays, new and old fam. And I am discussing the Herbcrafter's Tarot because it's been long overdue. We're going to just keep going, because I am at a rate of one deck per year that we've really delved into. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm going to have to speed that up. That rate, we'll never get through any decks. So Hi, Deidre. Good to see, well, virtually see you, feel you. Thank you for joining. It's so good to see you all. So yeah, okay, we are going to talk Herbcrafter. So I have the little guidebook here, right? Confession, I didn't do a lot of preparation for this part of the study session. I'm just as much a student as you all. So if you're coming here to be like enlightened and like learning all about herbs and things, well, I'm not going to be able to deliver on that. But in terms of having a solid place that we can come to after we've looked through these cards, after we've done some comparisons, I have some other wands or fire cards here on my table that we can kind of do some comparisons to. And if you have questions about the card, or if you have something to chime in about a particular card, because that would be most helpful, right? If you have some enlightening insight, even if you're like, I don't even know, this is what comes up for me, that works too. So it's a kind of free-for-all in that way. So this is the Herbcrafter's Tarot, written by Letitia Guthrie, artwork by Joanna Powell Colbert. As you all know, I'm a big fan of hers because she created one of my favorites, and I'm always gushing about it. I'm like losing my mind here. I'm not going to bring it up now. And all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank and I'm like, where's my guidebook? Hold on, guys. It's like throwing me off. Like Journey to the Cayenne Tarot. It's my favorite deck. Okay, anyways. So let's go through the cards. So first up, what I did was I pulled out all the Herbcrafter's fire cards here. I am so enamored with this deck, and the reason why I wanted to do a more deep dive into this deck with you all is because I really want to connect with it. It's so beautiful. There's something that calls to me. It's so earthy, and I'm an air. My sun sign is air. So I need that earthy element to kind of ground me at times. And this deck does that for me, even just looking at it. But as you can see, I don't know. Some folks probably get along just well with it because they know, oh, Moline. I mean, they must know, like, oh yeah, that totally is the Ace of Fire for me. So this is the Ace of Fire. This would be the Ace of Wands traditionally for the Smith weight. So this is where I say that I didn't do a lot of prep here. So we have the Moline, and I did Google the image, and in fact it does look like that. It actually looks like plants I've seen in nurseries. And so I don't know, we're gonna go to the guidebook though. I'm gonna go to the guidebook first and kind of read a little bit, some excerpts, and then we're gonna do some comparisons. Now, the other decks I have on my table is the Smith way, you know, our traditional, like, it's the borderless, but I also have a couple of new decks. I have the Uncommon Tarot, and I have the True Intuitive. And people have a lot of different opinions about those two new decks. Like, it's interesting. I personally like them both for different reasons. But anyways, I was a naughty girl, but when you guys see what, like, in the future, when I share what I've been up to, you'll be like, oh yeah, you totally deserved it. Anyhow, Ace of Fire. So let's see. Got the Ace of Air. And if you don't have this deck yet, this is a good guidebook. It divides it up though. It's, first of all, we're talking about energy and not necessarily, you know, wands. And then they divide them up: Ace of Fire, Ace of Water. I don't know why that bothers me. And it's totally okay. It totally works out in a reading, I suppose, but it bothers me that they divide it, that the book is not going in the order of the cards. But whatever. Okay, so this key meaning is ignite the flame of creativity. Seek inspiration by the light of a witch's torch. Let desire illuminate courage. I like that. And also what I like about this guidebook is it doesn't even really talk much about the plant or like, which could bother some people. For me, it works. And the crafting with the Ace of Fire, they do talk about how you can work with it. Like you can craft a magical Mullein oil. It says add spicy essential oils like ginger or cinnamon. Apply it to creative tools like paintbrushes, pencils, or dancing shoes to ignite creativity. And that is a tangible way to work with this energy and with this Ace of Fire. And I really appreciate that about this guidebook and this deck. And I think I need to do a new interview with this one, with this deck. It's been some time since I even really did an interview. Maybe last year. I don't even know. Ouch. Last year. I need to know how I'm going to go for using it because I know I'll use it with daily spreads or daily draws when we start to get more into using the deck and interacting with it and conversing with one another about that experience. But I have not been using it with client readings. Let me know, have you been using it with client readings? I'm just interested to know how you yourself have been interacting with this deck, or do you just use it for personal readings? I've personally used it for like 1 to 3 card draws for readings for myself only. Hi, Deidre. Let me see what you said. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hi. You're right. So you were thinking, yeah, why didn't it have any references to nature or plants? Hi, Jade. Welcome. And you're right. If you're still learning, and I'll admit, I am still learning. Some people might even argue that maybe I have no business even owning this deck, but I own it and I really want to get along with it. It's like moving to a country that you don't know the language, but you really want to know the language. You really want to engage with the culture. And so that's how I'm feeling with this deck. I really want to. So, let me see. Now I'll read some excerpts of the guidebook. So this will help us a little bit more, I think. And then I'm going to show you some cards from the other fire wands suits I have here on my table. Creative inspiration is bubbling to the surface. Pursue an ancient calling from spirit. Take action to magnify your magic. It is closer than you think. Mullein is an easy to find, yet often overlooked medicine weed. You already possess the power you need, but you may not recognize it in yourself. Like mullein, inner strength and outer softness move you in an upward direction. Dried mullein stalks are dipped in wax to create torches. Follow the spark that unleashes your creativity. Allow your deepest desires to find expression. Seek courage from your ancestors. Wow. I'll add, as you embark on that new creative journey. I have to say, that's why I still hold out hope for this deck, because I come here, I look at the guidebook, I look at the pretty image, and then I'm like, yeah, it's really nice. So we have the Ace of Wands. It's just like a tarot combo situation. So we have that, even kind of, with that strong stock here, similar. Yeah. And green. Not that we need to compare it, honestly. But some of us that it helps, you know, to kind of to make our way if we don't know at all. Like some of us are true city slickers and we really don't know and we really want to know. So we have this example, and then this is the guy in tarot, and here's this Ace of Fire. Now, and you have a little lizard bursting through. Got that creative spark back there. And then this is a new deck. This is the True Heart Intuitive. So when I visually see it next to other Ace of Fire, Ace of Wands, I'm like, okay, I see that. I can see it. I can work with that. It makes sense. I can kind of visually see it. I can feel it through the guidebook. And I sometimes will Google the images or try to Google the plants and see if I've ever seen it or worked with it before. That's normally what I would do for these videos, but I didn't get a chance to do that. Okay, I just really am in love with the Uncommon Tarot. I'm going to just put it out there. And that's the new Ace of Wands. I don't know, that deck just makes me happy too. I'm just in deck happiness right now. Let's see. So, Miss Jade says, I have a friend who has amazing knowledge of plants and medicine. And her readings, oh, I bet. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Being able to call or hearken to those insights that you have about plants, and what do they call it? Like there's, what is it, herbcrafter? I don't know. Like there's probably not horticulture, but there's all like these different disciplines, if you will, and people having that vast knowledge of how, and then knowing even how to help provide some healing. You know, we're not doctors, of course, but just to know like what kind of healing properties are within that like the card. So we have Maline, knowing like the healing properties of Maline. That is very helpful and enhances a reading. It's just like when you have a really good hand on astrology, or you might be an expert on numerology, or maybe you're more into that intuitive type of readings and you can infuse some of that Reiki energy into your readings. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have different things we can bring to it. But I have to admit, I am a little jealous of your friend Jade, I have to say. Because sometimes with astrology, I'm like, yeah, you know, I have a basic little knowledge. It's not, you know, it's enough to get me around in a reading. But this would be amazing, I have to say, to be able to know plants and how you see it. Even in other tarot decks, you see, you know, some of the newer art styles incorporating different like essences and plants and herbs, and you're like, oh, okay, I know this means something. And then of course you look at the guidebook, and if it's a really good guidebook and a kind author, they'll include a bit about that particular symbol, that plant that they have incorporated in their oracle or tarot deck. But oftentimes they don't. So, you know, if you have a little baseline knowledge, it helps. It just helps. Ace of Fire. So we're moving on. And of course, if you have any questions, just pop them in to the little chat. How is your afternoon going? Mine's is good. I was like, oh, this is going to be so nice. It's been so long since I've had a chance to chat with you all and sit and catch up, and why not over cards? Oh, okay, wow. Oh, wow. So she is a curandera. I need to work on my Curandera for her community, and brings all of that to her healing practice for her body and spirit. Yeah. See, you know, we're real. We can admit when we're like, oh, jealous. Like, that's quite special, you know? And I certainly would go to her. It just, yeah, it's quite special and necessary. And hopefully, you know, we'll be so fortunate as to have someone like her, like, chime in, like, in the comments later. Because I'm going to have this video on the Facebook page, Abundant Life Tarot's Facebook page, as well as in the Facebook group. And I've never done this before, but I've seen other YouTube folks do it where you can upload the video live to YouTube, since they all kind of like own each other or what have you. They have some sort of relationship. Next card we have is Two of Fire, Bee Balm. Bee Balm. And I was like, I don't even know. I mean, I know of bees, I know of balm. Let's learn about bee balm. Like Two of Fire. So you got the This Might Hurt. Isn't that deck just gorgeous? It shuffles like a dream. Sorry, Herbcrafters. I'm going to pause for a moment. This Might Hurt Tarot is a dream of a deck. The gilding on it is gorgeous. The box, I don't know if she made any changes with subsequent editions, but I backed it on Kickstarter, and every time I read with it, it always is just a delight, and it's beautiful. The coloring, like I remember her being so careful about picking just right the different colors and palettes and things, and I was like, that, she's quite special. She was so on it with it too, with regards to professionalism and just, oh yeah, it's a really good deck through and through. Congratulations, Jade. Congratulations. So we got Two of Fire, Bee Balm. Can you see that? Herbcrafters. And I know I overlooked showing the backs. And if you look carefully at the backs, I think this is so special. US games, I have to say, sometimes they're really good. Really good in terms of the quality of their decks. So you have, it looks like some tea that's kind of, you know, got steam going up, and butterflies and blackberries and blueberries, some sort of root here, tangerine. Even that's beautiful. You know you're gonna get, I think why I am so drawn to this deck was when I think I've talked about this before, when I was 17, I got really ill, like really, really, really sick, where my glands swelled up so bad that I couldn't even swallow. Like I had to, this is disgusting, I had to have a little cup because I couldn't swallow, I couldn't even eat, I lost so much weight. And it was just before, like, it was like right around my 17th birthday, and I'm like, this is how I'm going to spend my 17th birthday. And my friend's mom made me this amazing, harsh, like it had, I don't know, it felt like, it tastes like licorice, but it had also like little, like ginger root, other things in it. But I remember I had a fever. I had no business being, now in retrospect, I had no business being around my friends and her mother, but whatever, they were around me. And she made me this tea, and I felt better. Like, it was just like that. Like, nothing else. The doctors had said, you know, they tried to prescribe some stuff for me. It wasn't working. I was just like a mess. Whatever it was, healed me. So, ever since then, I was like, that's always been in the back of my mind. So, maybe that's why. That's one of the reasons why. One of the reasons. Bee balm. All right. Again, consulting the guidebook of the two. Oh, turn right there. Let's see. It says Monarda species, bee balm. I was hoping that, and this is where I guess I could Google it on my tablet, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I could do that, but I'm just not. So I like that. It says, save the bees. This is with the crafting with the 2 of fire. So she has, in this guidebook, the creator, a little section with crafting with this particular card. So in this section is save the bees, grow bee balm. So I'm hoping she talks about what exactly is it. No, not that I can tell. If you all know what bee balm is, like it says save the bees, grow bee balm. I'm assuming that's meaning that we can create it or something. I don't know. Attract what you desire by wearing bright colors inspired by bee balm flowers. So it's like a flower. It's obviously a plant, but I don't know, like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google, where does this plant grow native, and see if I can get my hands on it. It's cool. Make spicy bee balm, infuse honey for respiratory ailments, colds, and flu. Take it before creative work sessions to fuel passion. See, I'm all about that life. This actually appeals to me. It will have me kind of on the hunt to do this. I've been kind of doing stuff, getting into that too, by the way. You know, I'm always trying something and getting into something. Let's see. 2 of fire. And harness the power of desire. Embrace creativity with confidence. Courageously step toward the heat. And she just talks about bee balm brings bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds to the garden. Planting bee balm stirs activity in the area, igniting growth by shaping a diverse ecosystem. See, that sounds beautiful. When making decisions, take a creative approach. Be original and open to alternative ideas. Spicy bee balm remedies heal with a kick. Walk with flames of passion under your feet. Though excitement and fear may charge your actions, be confident about what must be done. Like these striking flowers, we attract what we desire when we show our bold, colorful selves. Isn't that beautiful? I like that. I actually want to see, like, if this is something that can grow in my part of the world. You know, I'm assuming so, but you don't know. So I'm going to show you, here is so we've got 2 here. And it's like having to make that choice. Do I go this way, the path of least resistance, or the path, you know, that's always traveled, or the path least traveled, but may garner more happiness? You know, it's like, what do I choose? Get creative with your decision. I like that. 2 of fire. So, and then we look at another aspect about, try to get some more organization here, about the 2 of fire is lust and passion. It's not just about, you know, ideas, or in terms of like ambitions and goals and desires in that regard. It could be about lust. And so that's why I like the guy in tarot, because it talks about that too. And so I'm wondering if bee balm also kind of stirs that up as well. All right, so I'm going to just kind of show these different ones. So again, here we go with the Uncommon Tarot. It's mass market. I'm like, this is so good. So good. I don't know, like, it totally had me fall off the wagon. In here, this one I pre-ordered and already had planned to get the true heart intuitive like a long time ago. So that was like within the rules. But the Uncommon Tarot was a total broke the rule, the depth year moment. So here's Two of Wands. Thank you, Deidre. I am so in love with it's actually available like Amazon. Like I might be gifting it to like people probably will be getting it as gifts from me. So you may be getting it as a gift. And I'm going to at some point in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to take a break. This week you guys are going to get your fill of me, but then I'm going to slow down. And then, because I'll be back busy again, took a day off to do this, but I'm going to be doing a giveaway at some point, and I'm torn between which deck I'm going to give away. So there's that too. Two of Fire, Bee Balm. So let me get some organization going over here. Okay. Bee Balm. Do you guys have any questions about Bee Balm as I move forward? Some of the cards I'll linger with, and some of the cards for time's sake, I'll move on. I'll try to move on quickly. You guys know I like to chit chat. Something always pops up in my mind. Yeah, I'm digging the Uncommon Tarot. I know some people are like, they like it more than the true heart intuitive. And I'm like, I like them both, but I'll just leave it at that. All right, next up, for the Herbcrafter's Tarot, let's move on. We have Three of Fire, Calendula. Calendula? And see, for those who cook, perhaps you might know about this. I don't really know. So, Calendula. Here's, let me show you. I think that's the cover of the box, too. All right, let's go to the guide. With the fire suit, and what I appreciate, what I can see here, for example, like the next one, the Four of Fire, Elder. I think that she's being quiet. Oh, look, there's like Santa Muerte there. I think that the creator and the artist was very intentional about those plants that were chose. The artist, or not the artist, the deck creator, and chose plants or herbs or what have you that feel like embody that fire, that fury kind of energy. That, I don't know, I appreciate that. Sorry, I'm looking at the Four of Fire. And I know we were looking at the Three of Fire, but all right, let's look at both of those in the guidebook here. Kind of do both. Okay, Three of Fire, Calendula officinalis. I'm reading you the official plant name as well. Okay, so here's a little key phrase. Take joy in prolific, passionate play. Delight in your own unique expression. Creative inspiration will last longer than one season. This is the Three of Fire. What do we know about the Three of Fire? I see she's got even like the little three medicine, what do you call them? Little medicine bowl, mortar, something in mortar. Sorry guys, I am having brain lapses all over the place. So, I'm going to actually read the mortars and pestles. Thank you. I'm going to actually read the description of the card this time versus like what I normally read, the meaning. Petals are scattered about a messy work table. Baskets are brimming with yellow, red, and orange calendula. Mortars and pestles are smudged from crushed plants. A glass jar with freshly picked flowers is flipped open in front of a bottle of olive oil. Incense burns and the summer sun shines through the window. And then we'll just read the first sentence here. Playful creativity is infectious. Now, I have to read the next part. Calendula grows easily and readily. It self-sows. Huh. That's nice. Once you plant it, you will have it in your garden for years. Oh, nice. So she says, these are exciting times. Explore new art forms. And that, you know, you can take decisive action. It enjoys a long and fruitful growing season. So with her interpretation of the Three of Fire, this is a time that bodes well for creativity. It's that, you know, you have that initial results, initial success from embarking on that journey, from making that decision in the Two of Wands moment, or Two of Fire. You've made your decision. Now you're moving on to the Three, where you're like, oh, okay, this was cool. I actually see some form of like confirmation I'm moving in the right direction. I've got support. There's like creative things popping off right now, and this feels good, and I like this. Crafting with the Three of Fire. So she says, you know, ignite your playful spirit, make oil, salve, and tincture with calendula. And create art with colorful or colors of calendula to express your joy. Yeah, and so she also says here, all varieties have healing properties and create an abundance of medicine. That's what she also had to say about this. So she had a lot to say in terms of like what medicinally she thinks that this card offers. That's the Three of Fire. Here's the Three of Fire in the Gaian. She's got that movement. Not your traditional three, right? Not like your traditional here that you have with Miss Coleman Smith's depiction. Or even here, the true heart, intuitive. Okay. No. And then we have the Four. Okay. The reason why I was taken with it, I was like, wow, like, what's happening here? I don't know. I've heard of Elder, and you guys probably know more about Elder than I do. But I was just like, wow, like you can see what we know about the Four. Oh, here, let me show you. You've got the, you know, the symmetry of the Four Wands here, right? We know it's solid. There's, and so I was like, well, what kind of signifies that? And then if you look here, you have the fallen jars, but they all kind of feel like they're anchoring a corner. I know it's kind of hard to see, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to get it where you can see it. Here, that foundation. So it's interesting. Let's actually take a look at that one. The Four. Where are you? See? I wish. Okay, here we go. Elder. Sambucus nigra. All right, so a wand is being crafted on a table brimming with activity. Potions, plants, and yarn are scattered about. Berries spill out of a wooden bowl. A fire glows inside a wood stove. An embroidered pillow of Guadalupe rests on a rocking chair draped in silk scarves. The room is cozy and full of light. And so she's hearkening to the essence of how you would feel in a Four of Wands scenario, right? This is not necessarily looking at it from afar how you would here. Like we're kind of looking into the scene. No, we are in the scene with this card. We are feeling all of that here. And then she goes on to say, contemplation precedes action. Build a foundation for deeper understanding. Create space for rest and pull away from the outside world. Lavender is a popular border plant. The strong scent keeps unwanted animals from entering the garden, and the woody stems keep other plants from encroaching. Put up strong boundaries and retreat behind them. Commitment to self-care eases conflict in other areas of your life. Lavender clears the air and relieves tension. Oh, does it clear the air? Lavender sometimes is so... It definitely is a boundary setter for me. It clears. I like actually using it as a clearing, plant, if you will. A dried clearing plant. Trying to be all politically correct. Let your emotions settle and your mind relax. Take a break from gathering thoughts and ideas. You have already learned so much. Allow what you have studied to sink into your bones. You guys, forgive me. Hi, Cassia. How are you? How are you doing? Oh my goodness, forgive me. Scratch that whole part. I was like, lavender is definitely boundary setting, and that doesn't feel at all like the Four of Wands, because it's not. This is why. This is why I don't like this part of the guidebook. That's not elder. That's lavender, and that's Four of Air. I was like, how goes it? How is everyone doing? It is also Welcome Wednesday, by the way. I hadn't been on here in a while. So I was like, let me come on and check in and see how you all are doing. It's fall or autumn, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'm sure for those who are in the Southern Hemisphere, it's like, spring? But today felt definitely like you could smell autumn in the air over where I'm at. Okay. Well, this is more like it. I was like, this doesn't feel at all like this. Like, this doesn't feel at all. But what I love about this is how immersive that the creator of this deck, how she played, like how she has us in the experience. And I appreciate that. So if you're wondering about getting this deck, if you don't have it yet, and you're hemming and hawing, don't worry about, like, if you don't know plants. Like, I don't, but I make my way around it by having access to the internet and also working with the book and looking at the other cards that I have in my other decks to work my way through it, such as I'm doing right now. But it helps when you read the right page. And so, yeah. Look at that. So I think I read the right part at the top. I just didn't read the correct second paragraph. All right, so create a safe space to make a little magic. Elder provides protection from stormy weather to small creatures. So I did read that part. Somehow I jumped over, though, to the lavender. There is no accidents, though. I probably need some lavender, and I actually probably could use some, actually, when I was thinking about it. So there's no accents there. But anyways, she says, practical magical arts and move between the words. Oh my gosh, you guys. Honor the old ones. Elderberry syrup is a sweet remedy that heals a body weakened by invaders. Build a foundation that will sustain your work so you can create the life you desire. Invoke the aid of holy helpers, like the crone who lives within the elder tree, guarding the portal between the land of the living and the realm of the dead. She appears in the frothy white blossoms of summer and the dark berries of fall. Oh, I love that. Crafting with 4 of fire. Hang elder bows above the door to your creative space to honor the threshold. Craft a wand of power. The creative process of making magical tools is transformative. And I do agree with that. I am still very much in love with my little wand that I made. And I have to agree. So, make elderberry elixir. Offer it to your ancestors during a dark moon and listen for guidance. Note to do that. We'll do that, actually. Yes, we definitely shall chat in private. I know I'll have to give you an update of what's been going on in the world. I hope all is well with you, my dear. So we'll definitely chat. And so the 4 of fire. So let's kind of look around first at some of the cards. I didn't show you guys the 3 of wands and the uncommon tarot. Isn't that so gorgeous? Oh my gosh. Okay. I know not everyone is really into collage style decks. Clearly I am, so you have to forgive me. And then I'll just show you here. Now we'll move on to the, we talked about the 4 of wands. This is the true heart intuitive. Very jubilant, you know, happy, you know, celebratory. Yeah. Feels like a solid reason to celebrate. You feel good about that, about whatever area you're feeling good in. 4 of fire, so that's elder. So it is helpful that the creator goes into some details about why the plants are strewn about, or why there's glass jars laying here or there. So that I like that. We have 5 of fire. Okay. Then it's black cohosh, the color black, cohosh, Cohosh. I mean, it's actually a stunning image. Do you guys know what that is, cohosh? Have you heard of that? Here is the traditional, you know, what we know of the Rider-Waite-Smith. 5 of fire, you know, the conflict, kind of tit for tat arguments, maybe sometimes some kind of inner creative struggles, inability to move forward, you know. 5 of fire, black cohosh. So let's see. Here it is in the uncommon. This is the 5 of wands here. 5 of fire. So you see, it's like it could also be just like some type of inner turmoil as well. So let's just go here to the 5. And let me make sure I get the right 5, right? So we got 5 of fire, black cohosh. I'm not going to even try to pronounce the technical plant name, but I will do some reading of part of the guidebook. It says, anger is sacred. Burn through the slumber of helplessness and complacency. Resist. Women's rage is a force that will change the world. That's what this is in the guidebook. So I do want to read like the first paragraph that tends to describe like what's going on in the scene. A lush stand of black cohosh grows against a bright red wall. White flowers burst from a deep crown, looking like sparklers. The seeds shake like a rattlesnake before it strikes. Flies, bees, and other insects are drawn to the plant's strong scent. The earth below is teeming with life. The healthy, shallow roots jut out below the surface of the soil. Honor the fire that rises up within. Neither deny your anger nor let it rule you. Discern whether your rage is righteous or if it is rooted in fear and insecurity. Though the survival of black cohosh is threatened by loss of habitat, it remains an important medicinal. The tincture supports the female reproductive system, alleviating pain and releasing stuck fluids from the body. Black cohosh teaches us to harness the power of our own creative source. As the tall flower bends easily in the wind, cultivating a strong, flexible backbone. The folk name snake root signifies transformation. Rattle like a snake and shed your skin. And then crafting with the 5 of fire. Now these are her words, the author's words. Channel anger into activism. Support United Plant Savers' efforts to preserve this plant. Use black cohosh tincture to harness the power of your changing energy shifts. Craft a rattle of power with black cohosh seeds. Sounds cool. I don't know, guys. I don't know much about that plant. I don't know much. I would need the guidebook to make my way with that card, to be honest. But that's okay. That's okay. Or I just rely on my knowledge of the 5 of Wands or the 5 of Fire. Like, here's the True Heart Intuitive. Kind of, where's the other one? I kind of have. Here's the 5 of Fire and the Gaian. We've got all that color. And it's true to the color, too, in the background. So there's that. There is that. All right, we're going to move on. And we'll kind of go through them. I keep saying quickly. Then I'm like, not so quickly. Over here. Do you guys have these decks perchance? Do any of you have the Herbcrafter's Tarot? Have you been working with it? Let me know, even in the comments after when I post up the replay. Okay. All right, so here we go with the 6 of Fire. I love that. It looks like it's nasturtium. It looks like the California poppy. But I think they already have that in here. Let me go to the 6 of Fire. Just out of curiosity. We won't linger there. No. It's just a really pretty flower. I cannot pronounce it. Tripololum species. Yeah. Yeah, they're just nasturtium flowers. Crimson, orange, and yellow. Pepper the table is what it says. And I'm just going to kind of go through, unless you guys have questions about this particular card, we're going to move forward. If I'm called to stop and look in more depth, I will. Like, we know with the 6 of Fire, the 6 of Wands, it's, you know, it's someone being put on a pedestal, but not like in a bad way, like someone admiring you, or you being admired, or you feeling victorious and, you know, feeling, you know, just celebrated, and you being celebrated, or you celebrating someone else. And so I can see that here. So I won't linger too long, because I know we've got to move it along. And so we can always stop if someone wants to stop at a particular card. But, because I have one that's coming up soon that, well, the next ones we are quite familiar with, I think. We know of cinnamon, we know of ginger, wild cherry. So we're going to start moving into, oh, see, I knew there was a California poppy. See, okay. So we're going to start moving into some that at least I'm familiar with. Okay. So the 7 of Fire is cinnamon. And so I've been loving cinnamon forever, right? It is the spice, and you can have that bite of spice when you taste it, but it's sweet, but it definitely is spicy, especially if you put too much. It definitely has a lot of healing properties. A lot of folks use it in a lot of different medicinal practices. People cook with it. People, have it in their smell goods all over the place. Like, it is everywhere. Cinnamon is everywhere. So it did not surprise me that it landed in the fire suit of the Herbcrafter's Tarot. And it doesn't surprise me that it's for the 7 of Fire. 7 of Fire is about, being kind of having to be on a position of defense, having to kind of defend your position, defend something, stand up for something, stand up for someone, standing up for what you feel is right, what you feel is fair. So it sets appropriate boundaries, and I can see that with cinnamon energy. So I was excited to see the cinnamon representing the 7 of Fire when I got this deck. And let's see what the creator had to say about the 7 of Fire. Cinnamomum verum, that's the plant name. Answer the call of the ancients. Seek vision from ancestors. Take a stand for your whole authentic self. Okay. An image of the goddess Ishel and a sunstone are gathered on a table. A rosary is draped across a dusty book of Curanderissimo, healing arts, near a roaring fire. Cinnamon has been crushed for a te de canela, cinnamon tea, and now boils on the wood stove. A jar of cinnamon sticks remains open and lime is sliced. Okay. Let's see. Ancestral traditions remind us of who we are. Té de canela is a remedy of Mexican grandmothers. Your personal power has roots in your own cultural heritage. When you hear a call from the ancients, start with a study of your bloodlines. Learn the history, take the medicine, and eat the food of your people. As cinnamon found its way around the globe on the Silk Road, allow yourself to be taken on a journey by your ancestors. Devotion to divine beings will deepen your connection. Collect imagery and stories, make altars and offerings. Take pride in where you come from. Stand up for who you are. Claim your sovereign path. Your foremothers will give you direction. Cinnamon is a strong and spicy remedy. Be assertive and bold in the expression of true self. Crafting with the 7 of Fire, study your bloodlines. Invite your ancestors to a fireside council. Share a warming tea and ask for guidance. It's beautiful. And boost your day with fire power. Use extra cinnamon in your breakfast. Okay? How do you use cinnamon in your daily life? And I just really appreciated that take on the 7 of Fire. Normally, you see the in the Smith weight, you see this defensive stance here. They're kind of standing a little bit on higher ground. Let's see what we have here. Trying to see. Here's the uncommon tarot. Okay. So not necessarily what we're accustomed to, right? But that's okay. That's okay. So I thought I'd pause on that one because I did appreciate seeing cinnamon. I was like, yay, I know cinnamon. The next one is I'm a fan favorite, okay? Ginger, fan favorite. That is the 8 of Fire. Ginger is definitely a part of my daily life. I drink ginger tea every day, ginger and lemon tea. And not every day, most days of the week though. It just, I can't stress it enough for folks. Like, it's all about maintaining your immunity and just do it on a consistent basis. And then you do that with a nice big helping of ginger root tea. Yes, yes. Isn't it the greatest, ginger root? So the 8 of Fire, knowing what we know about that, you know, fast moment, like in terms of healing, there is some like quick, fast, and in a hurry healing happening when we incorporate and infuse ginger into our mix. We like also in our household, we cook with it. I have my tea every day. Like, it's when everybody was going out and buying up all the toilet paper and buying up everything, like all the vitamins, was kind of ticking me off. All the vitamin C, y'all, that irritated my soul, but that's okay. You know what I was buying up all? I was buying up all like the tea that has like the ginger tea, you know, like Bigelow, the name, you know, the brands that we know of. But then I was also buying up ginger root, the plant itself, and keeping it in the home just making sure we have it about. So yeah, sorry, I just can go on and gush forever and more about ginger. So we see here the 8 of Wands. That's the traditional. Let's move this here. Look at this one. You know, that fast forward moving energy, and it's got flames in the Herbcrafters tarot. You know, so this is, you know, the chef's kitchen. You know, it's like a flame going up, and it's intense, and it's, you know, things are moving, things are cooking, things are going, and I want whatever this chef is cooking up. Okay, that looks like it's going to be flavorful, because cooking with ginger, in my opinion, is just yum. That and garlic, but not everyone is into that. I just happen to adore it. Let's see, we have, here's the 8 of Wands in the Uncommon Tarot. Okay. So again, I am not using it magically, ginger, but I'm using it in my healing practice on the everyday as like a preventative thing. So if I'm reading tarot and I don't necessarily know of it in its magical way, I can kind of pull from what my existing experience is with a particular plant or root or herb. So there's that, and that's why I got all excited when the creator included something like ginger, cinnamon, wild cherry, and it also is helpful, and it does allow us to stretch and grow when we hear of other plants that are not so common too. So that's good. 8 of Fire. We won't spend too much time, like I said, because my voiceovers go on and on. Please stop me if you have questions. Let me see. Hi, Janine. So good to see you. I mean, I see that you didn't chime in. You were like, I didn't say hi. But on my end, it just says you're watching. And that I can invite you on the camera if I wanted to. So, okay. Let me go to 8 of, where are we? Just trying to see if she says anything exciting about ginger. Crafting with the 8 of Fire. Build your resilience and adapt to unexpected change. Use spicy ginger in cooking, and I second that. Make ginger elixir. Take it to keep the flames of inspiration burning. Try that too. Speed up a desired outcome by crafting a magic ginger honey pot. Ooh, some real magic. And ginger's, what is it? Plant name is Zingiber officinale. Officinale? And the key phrase or key sentences is adapt swiftly to unexpected changes. You can handle the heat. Yes, you can. Act quickly when inspiration strikes. So we'll leave it at that and keep it moving. So like I said, I'll be here. I'll keep you all here all day if I could. I promise you, there are people like, we hadn't seen you forever, and then you're like popping up. What is going on? Don't worry. Don't worry. There is a method to my crazy, I assure you. 9 of Fire, Wild Cherry. Isn't this a gorgeous image? Can you see that? I just want to be there. Like this suit, when I saw it, I was like, I just want to be in their kitchen, just hanging out here. Like, and again, I love how the artist has us immersed in the experience. Like you feel like you are dropped in this whole scene. And then the writer also, when she's writing to, she's not making it so out there where you can't access. And again, this is a US Games deck. Normally they use little white books. So this is a step up for them. This is a nice step up too, I have to say. Do I have a complaint about the setup of the cards and how I wish I wanted them like 8, 9, 10 page, or you know what I mean. So that's my only gripe. That's a tiny gripe. Tiny gripe. That's not even a gripe. 9 of Fire, Wild Cherry. What do you guys know about Wild Cherry? I know that in terms of anything flavored wild cherry, I'm all over it. I think it tastes amazing. And 9 of Fire, I'm like, I better learn. Let me study up on the medicinals on that, because I don't know much about it beyond fruity alcoholic beverages. So let me see what's up with the 9 of Fire according to the Herbcrafter's Tarot. Okay, Prunus Serratina, Prunus Virginana. Radiant power, humble spirit, sweeten work with play. Satisfaction flourishes when you stay the course. Stay the course. That I'm familiar with the fire, or the 9 of Fire. It is beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it, Kimberly? I would agree with you. It is beautiful. I have it, and I'll be honest, like aside from working it with you guys, before that, I only used it for readings for myself. And I'm hoping that changes, that this kind of gets me over this, I don't know, there was kind of this, what do you want to call it? Not distance, not a distance. There's, like when I have certain decks that I don't want to approach, I'm like looking around trying to find another deck that I can kind of pinpoint where it's like, I'm a little intimidated, but I want to work with it because I just know once I work with it, it's going to be amazing. But I can't get over it. This is helping me get over it. Just sitting here, going through the cards with you all, and getting over it, like, and knowing that I don't have to know all these meanings. Like, for example, Wild Cherry. All right. Trying to see if she goes into, we won't read like all of what's going on here, but we'll just read some of the excerpts of this part of the guidebook. It says, the fruits of creative passion feed the spirit. Perseverance and determination cultivate courage. Approach your responsibilities with excitement and energy. Llamas celebrates many months of dedication to the land. Your efforts have paid off. The fruits of your labor have come to bear. It is time to make magic with your hard-won harvest. Wild Cherry lends itself to many delightful potions and remedies. Invite playfulness into your work. Express personal power through creativity. Let your spirit glow like the bright red berries that shine in a thick hedge. You have the strength and stamina to meet life's demands with confidence. Crafting with the 9 of fire. Make a wild cherry syrup for a home apothecary. Add it to a warm cider and toast to your power. And we'll just stop there. So, that in terms of the meaning of what I have come to know and love about the traditional 9 of fire, 9 of wands, that's right on par with, that's right in line with that. That, it kind of even looks like, if you look next to that, the hanging herbs here, I don't know why visually it kind of looks the same to me too. I don't know. Put you over there. All right, moving along. Okay, it's like even more activity here. 10 of fire, Comfrey. Comfrey. Not quite sure what that is. Here is the 10, with the traditional. Got a lot of activity here, and that feels, the same kind of energy that you feel with the heaviness of the 10 of wands, the 10 of fire. Like, oh, okay, I've carried it this far. It's just too much, and I'm about to drop all of this stuff. And here, I can't wait to see how the guidebook or how the creator and the Herbcrafters approaches it, because actually, yeah, let's look how the guidebook approaches it. We won't linger there too long. Let me also see how the other decks approached it. Here is the uncommon tarot. Similar feel. But of course, every deck is allowed to do its own thing, by the way. This is just simply, again, us kind of finding little touchstones and similarities here. The heaviness of the wands. The heaviness. Oh, all right. Comfrey. 10 of fire. Do you guys know what that is? Oh, I won't attempt to pronounce the name here. It says, there can be too much of a good thing. Stop, step away, soothe yourself, cut it down, and it roars back to life. And I have to tell you, when I saw this, have you ever started, you had a great idea to make a great meal? I've done this where I'm going to make a great old-fashioned Southern meal, that would make the ancestors proud. You got all the fixings, and it sounded like a great idea. You were salivating over it. You started getting in the kitchen, and it just got super overwhelming. And this is kind of like what the kitchen starts to look and feel like. And you just want to be at the end where you can at least enjoy the meal. But yeah, you got to clean up afterwards. But, so that's kind of like when I saw this, that's exactly what I felt. And it made me happy to see that that's how the author, that was her take on it as well. So, yeah, let's see. And she says, the counter is scattered with jars and beeswax. Oil drips onto the wooden surface. The bulging apothecary spills over with medicine and has little room for any more. Then she says, peace follows overwhelm. You may be overextended. The shelves in this room are full, yet the crafting continues. Rest and replenish so your experiences can take root. Crafting with the 10 of fire. Write down what you need to release. Roll it tightly in a comfrey leaf and burn the leaf when it is dry. Yeah. Okay. I'll stop there. Okay. Next one is Haya of fire. Is it Haya? I'm determined to learn Spanish, y'all. I'm determined. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Haya of fire, California poppy. That's our state flower. This I know. Now, anything beyond that about healing properties, I am so sorry to say. I don't know, but I know it's the California state flower. I know that. And, okay, let me just show y'all something. Get all comfy here. Okay, I love the jewelry that this person is wearing. I love that she has dirt in her nails. Can you guys see that? Can you? I don't know if you can. Look at her jewelry too, and look at the dirt in her nails. I'm trying to get it where you guys can see it. Oh well, just those little details. I don't know. This creator, Joanna Powell Colbert, the artist, she just is amazing to me, and I adore her so much. Even, is that like a little, it's like a stuffed animal, but I could be wrong. Let's see what she has to say on the California poppy. And just to show you, this is traditionally the Page of Wands. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to be able to also pronounce that name. The key sentences is create with the enthusiasm of a beginner, boisterous play, then sweet sleep. Light up the landscape with golden joy. Let's see. Just seeing if I want to read anything else for you lovely peoples. Okay, the Haya. Oh my gosh, my husband would be this silly. A fire jumps at the chance to be creative. She cannot wait to begin a new project. Haya. She approaches everything with the playfulness of a child. Knowing the strong elixir of California poppy creates magic, she takes small but confident steps towards independence. She may have watched an elder many times, but now she makes medicine for herself. Just as California poppy flowers light up dry, wild desert meadows with their brilliant color, she stays open to the light, sways with the wind, and radiates delight. I think that's beautiful. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Okay, that's her. Crafting with the Hia of Fire. Craft fairy dolls from poppy flowers to inspire enthusiasm. Spend time gathering California poppy in a wild meadow and craft a relaxing elixir. I think every time I've seen them, there have always been signs, though, that said that we're not allowed to collect them. They're like, I don't know if they're endangered or what the story is, but we're not. Like, every area that I saw some California poppies, I was in it. So maybe I need to just grow my own. I don't know. Do a little guerrilla gardening with California poppy seeds. Sprinkle joy everywhere you go. That sounds amazing. Okay, we are almost done, guys. We are moving through the wand suit, fire suit in this deck. Okay. And of course, if you have questions about the cards, if you want to discuss the suit in depth, definitely do so in the comments and the replay of this video. Okay. All right. Yeah, a fire. Now we are moving on to the Adelita of fire. That would be the knight traditionally. So I love the bless you, my dear. Bless you, Kimberly. Oh, bless you. Big hugs to you, actually. Adelita of fire. This is the knight. And now she's moving. So when we looked at, she's like just now kind of starting out, if you will. She's about to grasp this. I don't know if this is some sort of ball. So maybe they talk about like a crystal ball of some sort. I don't know. But now the Adelita she's actually grinding up this cayenne pepper. Cayenne is something near and dear to me. I cook with it. I've always, just like with ginger, I've always had a love and appreciation for this particular herb. And I got seeds this year, but I'll be honest with you, there was no time to garden for me with, doing the, there was just no time. So, yeah, let's say that. But I love cayenne. Enough about that. Let's go to the Adelita of Fire. Let's see what they have to say. Dare to take a risk, be bold. So like I said, you see her this time, she's moving. She's not just kind of approaching it like the Hia. She is now actually in there, making some stuff happen, grinding up the cayenne, the herb. Dare to take a risk, be bold, defend the integrity of the grandmother's teachings. Heat erupts, then heals. A young woman makes a spicy vinegar called fire cider. She gathers ingredients: garlic, onion, horseradish, ginger, rosemary, thyme, cayenne, and vinegar. She grips the side of a molcajete with one hand while crushing peppers with the other. The golden winter sun casts a divine glow on her workspace. The Adelita of Fire fiercely defends her passion and her rights. Like the warm, stimulating medicine of cayenne pepper, she is bold and relentless in her advocacy. She vows to protect folk traditions. She knows that access to this ancient remedy may be threatened. She is determined to honor the ancestors by keeping the people's medicines available to all. She is inspired by countless teachers who have freely shared information with her as she has learned about herbal medicine. She fights for the integrity of the community by passing on what has been given to her. She inspires others to follow her lead. I love that so much. Let me show you some different examples. Well, we saw the traditional. And then that's that. This is the Prince of Wands in the True Heart Intuitive. So again, it's about doing the action, making that magic. Knight and the Uncommon Tarot. All right. Okay, we are now it's an hour and a half almost. So long video. Thanks for those who are watching this replay later, like, oh my goodness. But, for those who don't have the deck, now you can kind of see it in its suit, the fire at least. At some point, I will come on and do the next suit. I haven't decided which one yet. We'll see. And we've got Madre. I need to practice rolling my R's. Madre of Fire. And the Curandera of Fire. So traditionally the Queen of Wands, and traditionally the King, or the King of Wands. Here you can see the experience of these wise hands here. And here in the Madre of Fire, the thyme is the herb. And we've got books here, magical books with potions and brews. And we've got thyme all over. And we've got her polished fingers, and you can tell she's a mother. And we've got the oven over here, there's a full flame in there. And she is crushing up that lovely thyme, and I think that's a gorgeous image. I'm feeling that seasoned and experienced one, energy here. And Damiana. I'm not sure. Look, it looks like a flower here. Right here, this is a flower. So we're going to look at the guidebook for both to wrap up this long video. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me this afternoon as I kicked off working with the wands, because like I said, we only will have 3 more essential videos to do, and that would be the swords. I'm leaning towards doing the swords, and we can do the swords next, or we can even vote on which suit to do. If I don't hear anybody's preference, then we'll probably just pick. And then we got the swords, the cups, or the swords or air, the cups or water, or the pentacles or earth. So let's go here to time. Timus vulgaris. Turn up the heat on your creative passions. A warm heart and a spicy kitchen welcomes others to your table. Stoke the creative fire that burns in your belly. A woman stands in a warm kitchen. The table is covered in bottles, books, and a large fresh harvest of time. The kettle whistles on the stove. Yellow and orange herbs dangle from the rafters. She is dressed in garden clothes, and her worn hands calmly grind herbs in a large molcajete. The Madre of Fire inspires others by living an artistic life. She teaches from her actions. She encourages collaboration, inviting others to play in her busy apothecary. She is upbeat and accepts life's paradoxes. She knows thyme is both a popular kitchen herb and a superb medicine plant. She is driven by a rich imagination and finds magic in everything. And let's see, crafting here with thyme. Add flavor to your medicine cabinet. Craft thyme, salt, and syrup. Invite friends for a busy day of making thyme potions like vinegar, honey, and tincture. That's interesting. Won't read all of that, but that is gorgeous. And let's look at some other Queen of Wands examples. Yeah, I love the hands in the deck too, because the creator places you there, and you can see with the hands who you're kind of working with, or who you're working as. We'll see who we're working as. Queen. As opposed to how we're looking at the queen, you see, we could be the Madre of Fire. We are in the experience, or we could be sitting across, smelling the beautiful smells of her kitchen, her apothecary. Okay, let me see if there's other examples. Here's the Queen of Wands in the Uncommon Tarot. So I really like this. And see, it just makes it so relatable, and you could just look at it in this way. So if you were ever on the fence, you're like, okay, I could work with that deck. And then finally, the Curandera of Fire. And we'll just show this here. There's traditionally the king. There's another example of the king. Or this one. Okay. All right. Love yourself. Old ain't dead. That's what she wrote. Indulge yourself with sensual bliss. Come home to pleasure, power, and passion. Okay, we'll just move into the description here. It says the Curandera of Fire defies conventional norms. She remains whole unto herself, wild and free. She is a champion of female sexual power. She understands the importance of self-love rituals. Just as Damiana ignites passion, she adores the power of human desire and welcomes sensuality of all kinds. She knows a passionate life comes from living what you love. Thus, she honors her creative cauldron with a luxurious ceremony. She says, delight in yourself. People are drawn to her vivacious personality. Her counsel brings pleasure and inspires direct action. Crafting with the curandera of fire. Restore exhausted dreams and pleasures. Make Damiana incense to awaken your senses. And I just love how the creator has all these different ways you can work with this herb or this ritual or this particular energy of the card. It's a really special deck for that. It really is. And she has spreads in here that we could work with at some point when we start engaging and working with each other on how we're getting along with this deck when we get to that part. We are almost there, folks. We are almost there. So, if there's no questions from my peeps out there, then I am going to wrap this up. This was just a wonderful walkthrough. Not wonderful. This is just the Herbcrafter's Tarot, and we looked at the fire suit. We also did a warm welcome to our new peeps who have joined us and joined us in the Facebook group. So if you want to learn more about tarot or just more about collecting cards or how to work with the cards, you have questions for me, definitely reach out. I am finally starting to get some normalcy a little bit, I guess you could say, back in my life, but knowing now that I have a lot of different demands, sometimes I have to kind of do blocks. Like this week was my block of focusing on getting a lot of content up, and then next week, in the week after, I might, just drop something here and there. Obviously, there will be an announcement when the giveaway is finally up. So I'm going to take it easy, but I just wanted to hop on and hook up and link up with you guys. I have to count. I have some counting to do, and I will get busy with some things I need to get accomplished this afternoon. But like I said, thank you all so much for joining me. I will chat with you later. Much love to you. Take good care of yourselves, all that good stuff. Bye. Bye.